You don't have to be who you were last year.
Right.
You do not have to be who you were yesterday.
And somewhere along the way, I think we started treating our identities like a static Instagram bio or something. Like, you're not fixed. You're not static. You're living, you're learning, you're evolving. You're allowed to change your mind. Welcome back to Unapologetic Rabble-Rousers. I'm Doc Shelley.
And I'm Carla Lewis. I think, Michelle, we're kind of picking up what we were laying down in the last episode, because this really is continuing that discussion about change, about being able to quietly recognize that it's time for something to shift. Could be big, could be little. Mm-hmm. But again, at this time of year, the invitation here is for people to consider you don't have to be who you were last year.
Right.
You do not have to be who you were yesterday, if we want to get right down to it.
A true statement.
Yeah, indeed. And so being able to spend some time talking now about this notion of permitting, first off, acknowledging that when you listen to you, to the extent that you can keep all the noise out from the demands that are placed, the expectations that are there, the assumptions you yourself make about what's supposed to happen. This is about recognizing that, you know what, it's okay. You do not have to be the same. So let's help all of us kind of think new and different about what it means to enter into this next phase, whatever it might be.
Kind of thinking about, I had a conversation with someone the other day and we were talking about fit. Like, just because an identity, a job title, some version of you fit before, it doesn't mean that it still fits. Mm-hmm. So every January, people around the globe talk about adding new goals. What if the most powerful thing you could do is give yourself permission to change who you are at the very root of who you are? We so often show up with a title, a brand, the thing, the way you dress, the way you look, the redhead, whatever. And we're not a brand. We are a human being. Mm-hmm. And somewhere along the way, I think we started treating our identities like a static Instagram bio or something. Like, you're not fixed. You're not static. You're living, you're learning, you're evolving. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to change your look. You're allowed to change your pace. You're allowed to change your priorities. It's all good stuff.
And imagining the energy we put into maintaining what is. This is how I look. This is how I dress. This is how I approach things. This is what I do. This is what I don't do. Being able to say, you know what? It doesn't have to be that way. And the energy we put into keeping things, trying to make them continue to be okay when they're not, or when they have grown tiresome, or when you're just simply bored with what has been. It's like we don't need anyone's approval to look at and let go of the things that are not serving. And I think a part of that, Michelle's the big leap in that is getting over ourselves in the investment we're making in protecting what is.
Yeah, and think of some of the labels that y'all carry, right? I'm the fixer, I'm the strong one, I'm the quiet one, I'm the funny one, I'm the peaceful one, I'm the one that brings harmony, I'm the one that resolves conflict, I'm the one that causes conflict, I'm the
wait,
blah blah blah, whatever
you're difficult.
Version of you.
You forgot.
You're difficult. But think about those tactics or stories you have about yourself are those ones that you want to continue to carry. They might have been old survival tactics, some of those things. They're not who you are, and you're allowed to stop clinging to those titles, those versions of you that no longer serve you. If being the fixer, the quiet one, the difficult one, the whatever else I said, if any of those things don't serve you anymore, or you want to try out a different version that serves you better, do it. Stop clinging to those old survival tactics.
So what is it then? Let's talk about what it is that makes those things so compelling. So I just can't let go of that. I don't know who I'd be if I wasn't that people pleaser, the perfectionist, the fixer, whatever it might be, the difficult one. I'm sorry, that will live forever. And those of you who are just new to us, there's plenty of episodes that talk about how Michelle's a very difficult person. Just ask some of her previous bosses, right? But I'm just kidding, because I know and love this woman deeply. So, and had the privilege of working with her, and I know she is anything but difficult.
Very difficult.
Unless, of course, you don't like truth. And you don't like direct conversation. Then,
and you don't like that I answer a question.
Oh my gosh, then there's that. Oh, it's really difficult.
Yes, don't ask me a question if you don't want an answer. Pretty simple rule.
So, okay. So it's about what is it that compels us to maintain this status quo, even when we can maybe even hear it ripping our soul into little baby pieces.
Little baby pieces. I think some of it is our nervous system, because whenever we try to change something, our nervous system freaks out and says, no, no, no. And our brain says, no, no, no. This is normal. This feels good. You be difficult. That's your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. That's okay. We don't need to try something new. Your brain and your nervous system, I've said this 1,000 times, are designed to keep you safe. Even when it doesn't feel good, that is safer to your nervous system than creating something new that might feel freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's scary. And it's change. And the nervous system and your brain don't like change.
It's all a saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, and that's what, the chemical response. I mean, we can't deny how that the base of the brain, that's its job, is to keep us safe. And so anything that is new or different could be a saber-toothed tiger that's out to eat me. So you can't help it. Yeah. All right? Those things are going to happen. But we know there are ways to be able to look at that and say, okay, what is it that really, why am I so fueled to maintain this when I am also aware that it is not serving me the way it did in the past, if ever?
You're still getting something from it.
And what would that be? And how do we examine
anything? That's a whole journaling prompt of going through and identifying that thing, that identity that you carry, that the proverbial clothes that you wear. Again, not the literal clothes. But how is it serving you? You're getting something from it. And that's why the change feels scary, because it's going to have to let go of that thing that you're getting. It might be protection. It might be safety. It could be anything. Mm-hmm. But in some way, that thing, that identity, is serving you. And they've been doing this. I've told you about the game with Michael Neely, and they talk about how you have to be the player. They're into gaming, right? So it's like a gaming analogy, but you have to be the player. Those things are characters that you play. I play the character of the difficult person. I play the character of the
Pickleball person.
funny person. I play the character of the pickleball lady. But when you can connect to that higher version of you, the player who's controlling the board, controlling the game, you think like, what player am I playing right now? And how is that serving me? What am I getting from it? Here's the things I'm not getting from it. But what am I getting from it? Where is it protecting me? Where is it providing fuel for something? It's always serving you. Otherwise, you would change.
You know, I wonder if sometimes maybe a really awful metaphor is it's like those things that we have a difficult time letting go of. You know, we talk about the old worn pair of jeans, you know, your favorite jeans, but I'm thinking like a pair of shoes. And your feet continue to grow. You continue to change. And yet you keep on smishing your foot, your feeties into these shoes that don't fit anymore.
But they're
you
cute.
Still need shoes, and that's what they are, but they're not serving the purpose. They're actually causing you to compress who you are, to shrink who you are. They're keeping you confined. And I don't know, it helps me to think about it.
And that equates to keeping you safe.
Yeah, in smishy shoes.
In the smushy shoes. Yeah, I think, you know, obviously we outgrow our clothes. We outgrow a lot of things. And yet people hold on to some of those things. I have a woman that I have worked with in the past. She lost over 200 pounds. She kept all of those clothes on her whole journey down. She's kept her weight off now, I want to say like close to 10 years. And she still has all of those clothes. Just a few weeks ago, she put them in a box. They were literally hanging in her closet and in her drawers.
Wow.
And I asked her why. And she said, I don't want to forget who I was. And I said, who was you? What are you not wanting to forget?
Yeah.
The fact that you weighed 200 pounds more than you do right now? Like, if that's the case, pick one outfit and frickin' put it in a frame and hang it on the goddamn wall. Like,
yeah.
I don't understand. And she was like, no, I expected me to be a completely different person when I lost 200 pounds, and I'm not. I'm me, but I'm 200 pounds lighter.
Interesting.
And you need the clothes to remind you of that. It was just kind of an interesting conversation, but she didn't want to let go of them. And in her mind, she's still the fat girl because that fat girl was fun and funny and everyone loved her.
I have heard.
She's skinny now. She's a skinny biatch now, and people don't like it. So she's gotten a lot of flack for how much she has changed, how much she's not like the fun-loving person she used to be. And she's like, F you, I absolutely am still that person. It's kind of interesting.
It is huge. And I think one of the many points that would come from that is that notion of expectations. So we decide that there's something, these shoes don't fit anymore. Okay, so I'm going to switch over into a new set, whatever it might be. And we go in with expectations. And what you said about her, and I've heard this especially from people who have lost a great deal of weight, that they expected a whole lot of other things to change. But that's different work than losing pounds. That's different work than exercising to try and tone the muscles and all of, get everything working like it should with less weight being born. But that's not the work that gets done. So being able to recognize, and I hope people carry that story, to even just the wireframe of it, to say, you set out to do something new. If you're going to set some expectations or make some assumptions about the so what of doing that, it's really important to check yourself on what it is you expect this to do for you and why.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't just hope it happens or just expect it happens and not invest in it happening.
But isn't that what so many of us do, is we just default? We default to whatever those identities are because they're easy. And even though it kind of doesn't feel like home, it still feels like home. So if we want to change, we've got to stop defaulting to that character, to that identity that isn't really serving us anymore. Yeah. In the way we want it to serve us. Let me clarify that, because it is serving us, but is it serving how you want it to be serving? And
it's not going to do it on its own.
No.
This woman spent many years getting to the weight that she was. She spent a lot, invested a lot of herself, her belief in such a being able to peel off 200 pounds. Huge, huge accomplishment. If you do nothing to adjust what it was that got her there in the first place, mindsets, habits, patterns, the people, the whatever, you haven't done anything to help cement the so what of losing that weight in this particular case. So,
yeah, and think about any sort of reinvention that we do. Sometimes it can feel like a betrayal of who we were versus honoring who we want to be and who we are becoming. And kind of going back to a little bit of what we talked about in the last episode, not everyone's going to clap for the change. You don't need to make a big announcement. It doesn't need to be a press release. Not everyone's going to clap. Clap for your damn self.
Exactly.
Cheer yourself on.
Exactly. You don't need anyone else's permission to be able to make the change that you want to make. You do not have to qualify it for anyone else. You need to qualify it for yourself.
Exactly. Yes.
And you do not need to maintain a version of yourself that is costing you.
Absolutely. And you can kind of think about it. Who have you been performing for? Who is that identity serving or protecting you from? And if you're ready to let that identity or that role go, no time like the present. With that, I'm Doc Shelley.
And I'm Carlo Lewis. We thank you for listening. We encourage you to reach out and share your thoughts with us about what we're talking about, the way we're approaching things, what you're getting out of it. And be sure to share the love with others that you know. Take care. We'll see you next week. You do not need to maintain a version of yourself that is costing you.
Wanting something different is not failure. It's a sign that you're actually listening to your life.